Hello, learners. I have come to you to talk about the characters of William Shakespeare's famous drama play, Will Hamlet. I have selected three characters, major characters, and I'd like to mention these three major characters. One is Prince Hamlet, the protagonist of this play, and the second is Queen Gertrude, the third is King Claudius. And now I'd like to talk about Prince Hamlet, the protagonist, the hero of this play. Prince Hamlet is the title role of the play. And as I have told you, the protagonist of the famous play of William Shakespeare, Hamlet. And I'd like to give the introduction to you, dear learners. Prince Hamlet is the Prince of Denmark, the only son of William Hamlet, the King of Denmark, and his Queen Gertrude. And he is a polite gentleman which has been sent from the beginning of his life, and he is a wonderful prince, smart and handsome. According to the tradition of the royal family of Denmark, he was sent to Wittenberg for higher education, and he was conducting his higher education in Wittenberg, Germany. But the thing is that when he was studying in Wittenberg University in Germany, and he was pursuing higher education there in a very, very tranquil manner, a sad news he had got sad news during the time, and it was the sad news of the sudden death of his father, King William Hamlet, and the hasty marriage of his mother, Queen Gertrude, to his uncle, King Claudius, who became the king after the assassination of William Hamlet, the King of Denmark. And this news exactly made a certain kind of havoc, a depression, particularly in the mind of Prince Hamlet. And when Hamlet came to know this, he decided to return from Wittenberg. And when he returned to Denmark, and after his returning from Denmark, he started searching exactly the cause of the sudden death of his father, as well as the hasty marriage of his mother, Queen Gertrude, to his uncle Claudius, which made him suspicious, particularly doubtful what happened there. And he started exactly acting like a madman in order to hide himself, that he was searching the cause of the assassination or the clandestine death of his father, and what was the reason behind the hasty marriage of his mother, Queen Gertrude, to his uncle Claudius. Prince Hamlet definitely is a wonderful king, was a wonderful prince, as we have seen in this drama. Thing is that that Prince Hamlet started taking a certain kind of change in his mind, because he was not in a position to control himself or to make himself normal in movement, in attitude, in thinking. That is very important. But thing is that though he is found polite and gentle, but he is responsible for the killing of Rosencrantz Guildenstern, two of his friends from boyhood, Polonius, Laertes, and his uncle King Claudius. And at the very beginning, that is very important, that he is found responsible for the murder, for the killing of Ophelia, his beloved. Very important thing is that as character, I'd like to explain Prince Hamlet in this way. He is a man of contemplation. He likes to think rather than action, and he is definitely a confusing character. And I'd like to take a very important example in order to prove that Prince Hamlet definitely is a character of confusion and skepticism. When he came to know that his uncle Claudius was solely responsible for the clandestine killing of his father William Hamlet, and the hasty marriage was a certain kind of plot which was designed by his uncle Claudius as well as his mother, he started taking the opportunity to take the revenge of the murder of his father. One day, uh, he found his uncle Claudius was praying to God in his private chapel within the periphery of the palace. King Hamlet was there, and but during the time he was searching the opportunity exactly to kill his uncle Claudius to take the revenge of the murder of his father. And it was a golden opportunity he achieved when Claudius was praying to God for getting exemption from the sin he committed to kill his elder brother and to make illicit relation with his sister-in-law, the wife of his elder brother William Hamlet, the mother of Prince Hamlet, and married her. And definitely it was a golden opportunity. But by this time, when the opportunity was going on, Prince Hamlet was found contemplated on a particular thing. And it is like this, that when a man is praying to God, he should not be killed. When a sinner is praying to God to get the salvation, he should not be killed. If a man, whether sinful or an innocent, does not matter, he is praying to God, he should not be killed. During the time of prayer, if a man is killed, he might be entitled to go to heaven. King Claudius, you know, that he is a sinful person. He is a man of carnal desire, committed crime of killing his brother and to marry his sister-in-law, the wife of his brother, should not be killed during the time of prayer, according to Hamlet. If he is killed in the time of prayer, he must be entitled to go to heaven. And this will not be the actual punishment of a sinner. And that is why Prince Hamlet abstained himself from the motive of killing his uncle Claudius. But when Claudius completed or finished his praying to God, Hamlet was obsessed with another thing, that whether it was the hell or heaven, it is the hell or heaven. Nobody can mention it. Nobody has entered the heaven and has returned from it. It is a very confusing. It indicates the confusing mind of Prince Hamlet. And another thing is that, which indicates is very clearly that Prince Hamlet is a man who is found to be confused even about the existence of hell or heaven. He is suffering from skepticism towards the existence of hell or heaven. This is a kind of character Prince Hamlet is. And not only that, he is a man found in his nature a contemplative man rather than action. Hamlet is found like to contemplate rather than action. This has been found exactly, and this sort of character is found unsuccessful to any sort of action and activities. And his mother's character, the hasty marriage of his mother to his uncle after the killing of his father, has made Prince Hamlet suspicious to human character. It is definitely a painful experience that a man is not in a position even to believe his mother, and his skepticism, his doubtful mentality towards the character of Ophelia has been created from the character of his mother. The character of his mother, Gertrude, has made him a very suspicious person towards anything in this world, particularly to the women character. And he is an intelligent king, no doubt about it. And he was very much conscious about his safety, though he started losing his interest of life after the death of his father and the treacherous activity that he has found in the character of his mother. Even then, he was very much careful about his security, and for the security of his character, security of his life, he started pretending to be a mad for the two purposes. One purpose is to save himself from the conspiracy of his uncle King Claudius, and second is exactly so that he can take the revenge of the murder of his father. That is why he was pretending to be a mad, and he is a man who was found successful very skillfully to be mad. It was simply an acting, but Claudius and his opponents could not exactly trace or could not find out his actual acting as a madman. This is the skill Prince Hamlet has shown as a performance. Hello learners, another important and formidable character in this play Hamlet is Queen Gertrude. Queen Gertrude is the wife of King William Hamlet, who was the king of Denmark. And she was a very beloved wife of William Hamlet, the king of Denmark, who was assassinated at the conspiracy of his own brother. King Hamlet used to love his wife Gertrude very much, but Gertrude did not give any importance or value to the genuine love of her husband, King Hamlet. Rather, she used to maintain a certain kind of illicit relation with her brother-in-law. She used to maintain a clandestine relation with her brother-in-law, King Claudius, concealing this fact to her husband. This is a conspiracy. This is a treacherous activity we have found in the character of Queen Gertrude. And definitely, you know that not only that, after the clandestine killing of her husband, King Hamlet, she used to maintain a certain kind of spying by Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, two friends of boyhood of Prince Hamlet, in order to maintain a spying on his son Prince Hamlet, whether he is acting or he is actually mad. That is a kind of attitude of Queen Gertrude, which created an irritating situation in the mind of her son, Prince Hamlet. Another thing is that she tries herself exactly to cheer her son and to make himself from the agony and the mental suffering and the depression due to the death of the father of Prince Hamlet. And it was definitely a very, very vain endeavors of Queen Gertrude, and it was not effective at all. She was totally failed exactly to make the situation normal. And other thing is that the many critics made several comments on her character. T.S. Eliot, the famous poet of 20th century and a critic, made the comment that the unholy relationship of Queen Gertrude with her brother-in-law, the younger brother of King Hamlet, was the main reason exactly, the main reason of the tragedy, the main reason of the negative impact created particularly on the character of her son, Prince Hamlet, and which exactly lies the fact of creating tragedy. I think that Shakespeare has made a very, very important image, very formidable image of a treacherous lady through the character of Gertrude. And other thing is that though she had the compassionate love for her son, Prince Hamlet, but it had gone in vain. It was not effective exactly to control her son or abstain her son from taking revenge on the death of his father. You know that her hasty marriage is mainly responsible exactly to make the hostile relationship between his son Prince Hamlet, the hero or the protagonist of this play, and King Claudius. This is hasty marriage was not accepted by her son Prince Hamlet, and that is why hostility created between Claudius and Prince Hamlet, which led the great tragedy. And this is shortly the character of Queen Gertrude. Another important character is King Claudius. I'd like to introduce this character to the dear learners, to you. It is very important character because Shakespeare has depicted the real image of a villain through the character of King Claudius. He is the fictional character and the very important character, particularly for creating the image of real tragedy and the conflict that has been reflected in this play. And his introduction is very flat. He is the young brother of King Hamlet. King Hamlet used to love his younger brother very much. But King Claudius is a man who is found in this play always finding the way to get power and to fulfill the carnal desire and to get the accession particularly to the throne. And that is why he is a man found leaving no stone unturned, events conspiracy in the outer stage, exactly to fulfill his desire to achieve wealth, power, property, and fulfill carnal desire. And Shakespeare is very skilled to create the real image of a villain through the character of Claudius. Claudius designed everything to kill his kill his elder brother, King Hamlet, and it was his desire to go to the accession to the throne of Denmark, and he was successful in the initial stage of the clandestine killing or the assassination of his own brother, and to marry his sister-in-law, Queen Gertrude. And these are the things we have found that King Claudius successfully did. After the death of his brother, King Hamlet, after the assassination committed by him to kill his elder brother, William Hamlet, he ascended the throne of Denmark. And at the very beginning, he is found a very capable monarch, exactly to make the articulate and strong defense from the military threat to Denmark from Norway. But ultimately, he could not make the control. And not only that, he was successful also exactly to tackle Hamlet when Prince Hamlet was playing a lunatic acting or the acting of a madness in order to take the revenge of the murder of his father very skillfully. And in this play, it is said that King Claudius appointed two persons, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, as I have mentioned to you, the two friends of Prince Hamlet from boyhood, exactly to maintain spying. And their two friends in the beginning of the play are sent to send by King Claudius to make a spy on the movement of Prince Hamlet while he was studying in Wittenberg University in Germany after the receiving of the death news of his father, King Hamlet. And they were giving the report properly to King Claudius what was being done by Prince Hamlet after receiving the news, death news, or the news of the assassination of his father. So, in conclusion of the character of King Claudius, we can say that he is a man who is expert in designing conspiracy, who is strictly motivated by power, by wealth, by fulfilling carnal desire. He is a man who does not bother for ethic, morality, and religious teaching at all. He is a character which is strictly motivated by the achieving of material prosperity. And I think that King Claudius is a very, very wonderful creation of the real image of a villain by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare has given skill, has given the testimony of his articulate skill to making the character of the real tragedy like Prince Hamlet and the character of a real villain like the characters of King Claudius and Queen Gertrude. And I think that no other dramatist in this world can create this sort of image of the tragic hero, the image of a villain, and the image of a women villain. Shakespeare has depicted these characters with his own experience of life, which he was watching throughout the world during the time, the Palace Conspiracy. The Palace Conspiracy Shakespeare witnessed and experienced during his time had been depicted in the characters of his plays. Dear learners, and I have given the narrative of the three major characters of this play, Hamlet. Hamlet is the most important, widely read, widely criticized, widely mentioned drama of the world. There are several millions of critics, as we have come to know, have been particularly made and mentioned on this famous play. And now I'd like to conclude my lecture mentioning these three major characters. Other characters will be mentioned. Important characters will be narrated by me in the later class. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much.